Welcome everybody. Welcome to TikTok Tuesday. It has been a wild morning. I'm early. Chill. Get a cup of coffee or whatever you need to. Get some art supplies in front of you and play along in the sandbox. 5 subscribers. I have 2 and I thank you, BullDreamer321 and Sherry, for subscribing. I really appreciate you guys and all my teammates. We've been working on a fairy treasure box. I put the latch back on. I usually don't have them on at this stage. Just finished spraying her. This is epoxy sculpt, okay? The stuff that's hanging off. And let me tell you what, it's a little tough to work with to start. It comes in 2 parts and it's an epoxy product. So you wear gloves while mixing, but they don't say anything about a mask except once it's dry, 24 hours later, you can sand it, paint it, drill it, and all that. If you're sanding it, that's when they say to wear a mask clearly. So anyway, that's what it looks like. This is the small set, and I have a ton left over, okay? You just use equal parts of each, and the beauty is one of them looks like a different color, a darker color. So when you're mixing it in your hands, in your gloved hands, for 2 minutes, you can see how the different colors are starting to blend, and when it's all one color, which I got the super white, which, by the way, I found I did not paint that section. Okay, so it's all super white. So then you just let it set after your 2 minutes of mixing for about 5 minutes, and then you get after it and you start doing whatever you can. I'm not a sculptor, so for the longest I had 2 clumps of white coming off of here, and I honestly, in my spirit, was lost. I was scared. I just sat there and stared at it, so in front of everybody. So, you know, it's good training for me to be able to calm my spirit. Welcome everybody. I talk art and spirit and everything here. I'm a self-taught artist, so just sharing my process. So that's what this is about. If you're here, welcome. I just kind of jumped right in here. So anyway, I found a tool with a little silicone on it that when I started just pressing into that white, it gave me a shape I could recognize, which was a teardrop or a flower, and instantly I was like, yes, thank you, God. And it was just joy. And then from then on, the entire treasure box has been joy. So, because I got the vision, right? And it doesn't mean it's going to stay like this forever, because I changed a lot. I couldn't have got that vision if I gave up. So I just want to encourage you today, no matter what you're working on, it doesn't matter if it's a pour gone wrong or a balloon press that got muddy. We have all been there, right? So don't worry, there's a way out of it, and that's the joy, that's the puzzle that we get to find as a creator, that to make it from a disaster or from chaos into something beautiful, some creation that we're like, yes! It surprises even the artist. It does me anyway, that's my process. So welcome. Lauren Thomas, welcome. So that's the epoxy sculpt. That's what's all around this. So I put the latch on because it looks so much better without the latch. There was just so much, you could see straight through, but I know, you know, I have to put a latch on, so I considered painting the latch in those colors. I just don't think I could find something that eventually it would not scrape off, and I don't want to do that to someone. I would rather have them say, I like it the way it is. Loop. And I thought of building it up with epoxy sculpt and hanging a charm from it. I just love little surprises in my art. But I don't want to get carried away, you think? So anyway, this is what we're working on today. The inside, I have that all taped up because I didn't have the latch. So there is nothing. The back, we are still going to be painting the scene. But I'm just letting this simmer in my spirit, is how I call it. I don't want to rush it, you know, something. So it's not clear enough. And I have a whole nother side I'm still contemplating painting on. This is all unicorn spit. So, and then my little seahorse angel dragon is finished. So, all I have to do is spray seal and she's ready to go, and I will go tell that later. 11:48 we can get started painting. And before we do, I love to draw a card from this Sea Journeys box. No, I am not a fortune teller. Do they even use that term anymore? And who are they? But what this is inspiration for today in the direction I want to go. And I'll tell you what, this morning has been wild. I got up so early, getting a jump start on everything because I took yesterday off. And boy, everybody was busy yesterday, and so I couldn't even go back to the visit everybody like I wanted, so I just kept going. And I still felt behind the whole time, and I thought, why am I feeling rushed? Are you feeling like that this morning? Is it just me? So I thought, you know, no one is doing this to you, Melody. Speak to yourself. You know, we have the power in our tongues to speak life or death, speak blessing or cursing. And we know that scientifically, y'all, because, right, it wounds children when you speak like that. And we, even as adults, with that inner child, we get hurt feelings, right? If someone is harsh to us, we can act like we don't. We can act like it doesn't matter. And maybe to some, it really doesn't. Some can brush it off easy. But, you know, that's why it's important to speak kindly to yourself. You're listening to yourself every day, every second. I talk to myself constantly. So that's why it's good to just get a fresh word, a fresh perspective this morning especially. So I'm just going to pick one of these and we'll see what inspiration can come from it for our art journey today. Depth. Oh boy. Last card, it was scope. Someone is pushing me and just stretching me. That's beautiful. I'm the type of person that I kind of need a prodding once in a while to get out of my own rut. So if that's you, let's go deeper today. Let's go depth. May you immerse and go deeper. Yes, we may. And that can mean anything for you. Let it inspire you. Alright, I'm going to let that soak in for a second and work on my little palette. I've got some unicorn spit. It's water soluble, no polymers, no glues in it. So all I have to do is reactivate that with water. And so I just keep it on my palette as long as I want. Dirty palettes. So welcome. Aw, Francis. Thank you. It's a mess. Thank you. It's a happy little mess though right now because I'm in my happy space here. So that is my brother, Ed Williams. Beautiful musician, beautiful soul. Okay. I'm just looking at this. All right. This is where you hear, all right, okay, a gazillion times. These are little covers I get from the Dollar Tree, 17 in a box. And when I don't want to mess up something, I have spray sealed this, but still yet I don't want to mess it up. I wonder if the little ones... Oh, you guys, this is really tough. Yay. Okay. All right. Well, let's do the other, just so. I don't have to worry about that either. I need more boxes. I need a personal shopper. You guys, there is a Unicorn Spit Extravaganza coming up September 5, 6, 7, and 8 in Kansas City, baby. And 2024, September, mark it down. The tickets right now are still $50 cheaper than they will be in a week. 24. I am honored to be able to be a teacher there. Michelle Nicole, who is the creator of this beautiful unicorn spit that I fell in love with. Fabulous. There's Laura, she does ocean pours, and you'll learn a whole bunch of stuff. And then there's a big hoedown thing at the end. So you can also find it through my link, Unicorn Spit link on my bios, wherever you find me. So it's Cape Charles Art on YouTube and Facebook, and Melody Gleason Art here. So Insta, I'm barely there, but I'm also Cape Charles Art, I believe. So there is that. If you want to know more about Unicorn Spit, just go check that out on Facebook. There's a group there. It's absolutely fabulous. You can ask questions. You can see little projects that people are in the middle of asking questions themselves. So, okay, I'm going to start a little bit gesso. I love the wood grain coming through, but this is going to be the inside of a fairy box. And it's a grotto, baby. This is where she's living. There's going to be a pond down here with resin and jewels. So, but I do want some background where she can look out the window and see ocean. And so I'm thinking the grain, the obvious grain at the top would be beautiful to see through too. And that's why the Unicorn Spit is awesome, because there's no polymer or glue. So you see it just sinks right into the grain and highlights it. And oh my gosh. And the cool thing is, even if we resin or anything like that, that's fine, because I'm going to spray seal it first. So any of the bubbles or air spaces from the wood grain is going to be sealed as best I can before I even think of putting resin in there. So, and we've already sealed the outside. So, very good. Okay, but I do want some gesso in where I want to put a rug. I'm thinking, what do I want to put in there? And this is acrylic gesso. It's just the Liquitex. It's a mess. I have a messy studio. And this is just resin, little resin pallets. Make them out of coasters that fail. Lovely. And then, I've got it messed up, but if you want to paint on it, just add gesso, make a painting, and then cover it with resin. I can't stop myself. Alright, so I'm going to add a little blue. My favorite is the teal. This is the Unicorn Spit. There is no bling in it. It's not a sparkler or anything, but the blue is fabulous when it mixes with anything else, and I absolutely love this color. So I'm going to mix it straight into the gesso, if I can. And I use them in these little tiny bottles. I get them off of Amazon. They've got the little needle nose thing. And you can mix, alcohol with this and Floetrol and all that. These I just leave straight because I love to paint with Unicorn Spit, and it's a stain, it's a gel stain. So I like it full strength when I paint, especially on wood. And that's just my own personal preference. And then I'll go back and water the fire out of it or throw Floetrol over it or whatever. Sometimes I mix it in. Sometimes I don't. Alright, so this is going to be just a very light blue, and this is going to be the sky that she can see out. And I've got gesso in here, so it's not really going to pick up that grain well. So I'm making it as thin as possible. But I'm also going to go up the sides because I want this to be like a full experience when the person opens the treasure box. I don't want any edges unless I have to have it, which is the stopping line for me. I'm just trying to put that in there a little bit. I don't care that it doesn't get covered. I want to see some of that grain still. And if I make it thin enough, I can, even with the gesso. Thank you guys for watching, for hanging out. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Oh, I'm so excited about the Unicorn Spit Convention. I have never been, ever. Michelle Nicole, maker of Unicorn Spit, is getting everybody hats that's included with their ticket. Felt, white, off-white, whatever, hats, cowboy hats. I don't do cowboy hats. I do have a picture of one when I was 6. Anyway, so fun, and we get to Unicorn Spit those. And so, okay, there's where that is. It's just very light. Every once in a while, remember to check your orientation, because it's easy to flip and go upside down, and then you're like, oh no, you've totally painted it wrong. I've done it. So there you go. Confession. All right, I'm going to hit the top too. Just a little bit. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to grab some different color, maybe some purple, which is the Dionysus. I've got it back here. I should move it around. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous metallic. You always want to shake these. And so I shake them super, super well before I put them into these. And then I just shake them. And I think I'll just put that right on in there, just for fun, see what happens. Put them up in the cloud, purple clouds. Remember, this is uber concentrated, so even just a little tiny bit like that, it's going to spread around a lot. So it might be nice to pick up that color with a brush and just kind of move it someplace else in another area. Because I like it when a color is introduced, it gets kind of scattered, you know, it doesn't just stay in one area. Unless, for some reason, I need it to be there, just single, hanging out. Okay, I'm just dampening my little brush, picking up some of that, moving it down a little lower. And I'm gonna go ahead and let that be kind of a dark color at the top of this box, I think, for now. Just blend it in. Now it's not going to move around like it normally does, because it is sitting on top of gesso, and gesso gives the unicorn spit teeth, or any product that you put on it. It gives it teeth that the product want to just hang on, which is beautiful. And that's why it works so great when you're, you know, painting on a palette, resin palette. Do a painting on top of your thin gesso, and then go ahead and pour your resin over it. And nice and thin, it'll be perfect. And it's a beautiful palette. I'm just blending the fire out of it. Okay, so basically it's going to open like this. This is what you want to see. So that's way up there. It actually stops right there. So I have to remember that as I'm creating this, that I don't want them having to miss something because I've painted it up underneath. They'll find it eventually when they're examining. But that first look, that first thing you see, it has to wow them. I'm going to add some white. This is a blend of two. The regular unicorn spit white is called whitening. So there's no iridescence, no bling, anything like that. Fabulous. Celine. This is the Artistic Vivations. This is the bling. So it's got iridescence and it's very, very sheer. It's getting a little bit more strong, I hear, on the next shipment. It's going to be a little bit stronger, less sheer, but still sheer. Fabulous for water. It's got that iridescence. It's not glitter, so it's not going to look like glitter. It's just an iridescence. So what I like to do is you get the strength of one and the nice iridescent sheer of the other, and you blend it. I love it. You can mix and match these with everything. That's so cool. I'm going to end up with all of those over here in a second. Alright, so I'm going to put some white, I think, somewhere in there. I'm going to bring those clouds down with just a bunch of white. And I've got a big brush, so I'm just going to press that white into that gesso. At this point, I really don't care what this looks like. I'm blocking in colors that's going to end up being either clouds looking out a window, or maybe this is where the waterfall starts, and then she's got chairs and stuff here. I don't know. Okay, there is something called, let's see, Capricorn. It's an artistic gradation. And this one is wild because I love these things when I'm painting fairy things, because sometimes you won't even see it until it's absolutely dry. And that might freak some people out. If you are a planner and you expect to see dark blue and all of a sudden you turn the painting and it's copper and it zaps you, you know? But I'll tell you what, in fairy paintings, to me, it's gold. So if you're into that type of painting, just freestyle, free range painting is what I call it, check out Capricorn. And there's a couple of them that are like that. So I'll just put her on the palette. I have it in a little bottle also. Am I blocking you with all of these? Thank you guys. Thanks for the hearts. Welcome. Okay, so this is whoosh Capricorn. And it's dark. Let me get to the bottom of this. Ooh, there's tape. Okay, now I have no gesso down here whatsoever. So since it is the bottom and there is really no grain, and I do know absolutely I'm resin at the bottom. That is a given in my treasure boxes. There's resin on the inside for the wear and tear, for the beauty, because I love putting crystals or seashells or ponds or, you know, sea life under that resin. So putting a little gesso down with my brush full of this Capricorn and just pushing it into that wood. Definitely going to be a water feature at the bottom. This, oh, that's a pretty nice color down there. And that's Capricorn. So far, I don't see any copper popping up. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, I'm blue down here, Capricorn. This may end up to be just an ocean here. I'm just feeling it. Whatever I feel like, that's what I do. And I can just change my mind a million times, and that's okay. I have given myself that freedom as an artist because that is where I find my joy. So, no, I don't do a lot of portraits anymore. And I don't miss it. It was a lot of stress. But I'll tell you what, I honor the portrait artist. I'll tell you what. It's amazing, and I have enjoyed seeing everybody's portraits of that one, oh gosh, I can't remember his name now, but he's the Muse, and everyone paints his portraits on TikTok. Isn't that cool? And they do it in so many different ways, like wood burning, and or like anime, or sculpting, and his house is full. Rick the Muse, that's what. And he's such a cool person. And it's just so neat. I love artists. They're fun. Okay, so I added some more white, and I'm just blending it because I thought maybe this is just water still. And I'm going to explore that. But I do still want to come up the sides with the colors. I still want it to have a continuation no matter what. That way, if I've changed my mind later, then that's okay, because everything has been painted that way, so when I go over it, I'll just repaint everything. Painting with unicorn spit, if you've never done that, you know, because a lot of people do the staining of the furniture and all that, absolutely stunning. And I'll tell you, if you haven't resined a piece or seen a piece of unicorn spit resined, it makes all the difference in the world. Spray sealing is beautiful, and it's the same with your regular art, right? Over acrylic. You get resin on it, and it's like, holy moly, it's gas worthy most of the time. And I am not a good resin person, and I will tell you, if you're purchasing my stuff, you will find bubbles in it. So I will get all of the ones that are going to affect it adversely as much as I can. I'm just telling you, that's how it is. They will add to it. And you know, if a bubble bothers someone, then clearly they won't be purchasing my art. And that's fine. There's so many fabulous resin artists that'll just give you something bubble free. It's beautiful. My sister's heading in that direction. She is so good at resin. Sherry, I don't know her if she's here. But Krista, welcome. Trust the process. Yes. Thank you. All right. Let me see. This is the front. This is where we're at. Okay, so it does look like we're in an ocean, so, you know, we'll see what happens from here. Let's see. It does look watery. Pretty cool. But I want a grotto. I don't want just another ocean. Let's see what happens. All right. I'm going to get Atlantis involved. She's a metallic unicorn spit artistic vibration. All of these are jasmine and lemongrass scented. So honestly, it is aromatherapy and art therapy in one. And someone the other day said they have never smelled it, and I was shocked. I was like, you don't use enough. But she said she was doing a pour, and I was like, oh, she goes, am I missing out? I'm like, you are. And especially for some reason the Celine, I guess maybe because I'm always into it, and when I use it, I use a lot of it because it's water. There's that jasmine scent. I just love it. So let me pour some Celine into this artistic vibration Atlantis. I need a restock so bad. Some is on its way, some new that I've never used before. I'm so excited. Give it some depth down there. And all of a sudden, now it's down deeper in my mind. Okay, I'm going to add some water to that. A little bit into the white as I come up. And I don't care that I get like swishy little movement in brush strokes, because all of that will end up to be either rocks or waterfall paths, or it'll be something by the time it's done. I am sure. A little more white. Making sure that everything gets something. Still just basically blocking in the ideas in my head as well as in this box. Okay, going into that super green Atlantis. Look how pretty that is. Pretty. Let's see what that's going to be. Just coming up the side and the back. So I'm going to go ahead and let it come up to that edge as well. And I'm going to do the same over here. And if I have to take it off again, that's fine, I will. Likely I'll end up just covering it with something when I finally understand what it is. I just love color. And especially trying to explore, for me, I had to break out, I don't know if you guys are like this, but for me, I had to break out of that rock, it's going to be gray, brown, rock is probably a bad choice because there's so many different colors of rocks, for real. But you know what I'm saying. Trying to keep with reality. And it was hard for me to do. Well, it's really difficult to paint fairy stuff and just locked into reality. Well, remember we said in the beginning that we were going to go deep, depth. That's what our card was this morning. It looks like we're going there. Oh, how pretty. I love this color. I'm going up the box with it. There's just something gorgeous about being able just to free range paint. It's like, oh, that feels good, or oh, that looks nice. And then you just keep going. And it's like, ah, you really get a cool experience like that. Even the sound of the brush on wood, have you noticed that? When there's nobody around, you're sitting there at night, wherever your painting thing is. Oh, I love it. Even if you don't paint, go grab a brush, get a box. Who knows? You may end up painting just because you're so relaxed and so enjoying it. All right, I'm getting into the water again and back into that Atlantis. I keep getting drawn to that. So I'm going up with it. And I'm sticking the tip of my brush into some Pixie Punk Pink as I do this. I hope I'm on the right, yeah. I'm just going to do something like that. Just tap it, tap, tap, tap. I'm just tipping it back and forth like that. I want to go off the side too because, we want it 3D. All of this can go away. Doesn't mean it has to stay. But I get a little bit of some growth going. Some branchy stuff. So that's something. I like that Pixie Punk Pink. I want to continue with her a little bit. In that green as well, and I'm just mixing it. And I honestly do not care if it gets muddy, that's fine. I can demudify later. And like I always say, in that mud, in those shadows are fabulous structures if you take a look at it. Some are castles, some are rocks. It's incredible. You can go back later and start highlighting those things that you see. You don't have to bring them all the way to fruition. I'm telling myself, as a newbie fairy painter, I can just do it as far as I want. I can bring a full-on fairy. That's hard for me to do right now, just to paint an actual fairy for some reason. But it's not impossible. I'm doing it. I'm forcing myself to do it because I love fairies. So, on that I will work hard and I will I will learn. But if I don't feel like it, then I will do a fairy wing and just enjoy the glitteriness of it and the veins in it and the transparency, and let the rest just be a guess and let it blend out into something. If I'm there just to get the joy of painting, locking in those colors, getting something ready for something. More water. You can water this unicorn spit down like humongously. That's very strong unicorn spit. It does need to be sealed. It is not a complicated process. All it needs is an oil-based spray or oil-based seal. Polyurethane, super easy, super quick dry, and you can spray seal it once nice and light, and then just keep painting right over the top of it, and then keep doing it in layers, and it would be fabulous. There's also that, like the Rust-Oleum ×2 satin is fabulous, and it'll say right on there polyurethane, and that's all you need. My music's gone. Alright, well, the card we read this morning for inspiration was depth, that we were to dive deeper into our art experience and journey. If you missed that, that is the card for today. So however you can apply that to your life, if it rings true to you right now, that's like, oh, I know that, I've been saying that, or you've been wanting to try new things, but you've kind of been hesitating, or whatever, maybe today is that day that you just go for it. I don't know. Your journey, guys. Your timing, your art. Just blending. Again. Alright, so here it is. Let me see. Right now, this is what it looks like. It looks blue. And it may still look blue once it's dry. I don't know, but I want to see, so. It's going to be so pretty. So pretty. I'm trying to talk to you over that. That's rude. Okay. So, what I see, I don't see any actual, like, chunks of copper flash, but I do see iridescence, but I'm not sure you'll be able to catch that, but let's see. I do see some copper. I'm loving that. Alright, okay, cool. Oh, thank you, Kara Leanne. Christopher, thank you. Land and a horizon in, and a light source. One of the things I'm learning is I need a light source early on. What I normally do is I throw white in when I'm working on wood, because you get like one shot when the wood first gets wet and then you first put your color on. If you go straight to black or dark colors, it's going to be awful hard to pull that back out because it's a stain. So I like to be safe, and I put my whites wherever I think there's going to be a sky, the moon or light source, sun, and also maybe something reflecting if I'm thinking it's going to be water. And, you know, that's where I put my whites. And then I go around that. And it's been working really well. But, you know, I've been learning as I go as well. And I know that if you put the light source in early, you have an understanding of the rest of the painting. You have all your shadows going the right direction and all this. So that is important. So let's do that. I'm going to just go ahead and right up here, I'm going to give myself a beautiful sun moon-ish thing. And I can move it around if I want, if it doesn't work for me. But since we're in fairyland, it's not going to be the normal. I don't want it to be. I want it to surprise someone. So that, and you probably won't see that much until they look like that. Which is nice. Which is very nice. Okay. And, you know, of course we have to glitter that up because it's either a sun or a moon or whatever. But we'll do that later. I've noticed that on the glitters, like if you use acrylic glitters like these, they're fabulous. They're fun, especially in fairies. But that glue in there, I haven't found one yet. If you find one that doesn't turn yellow in a year, let me know. But they do have a tendency to yellow. So, knowing that, put it on something, you don't mind having it yellowish, like the greens, the green blues, things like that. That way it never matters if it turns yellow. It's still a beautiful piece, because it is disappointing to see all this beautiful white seafoam and then yellow. And there's nothing you can do with that. Just sand it down and start over or whatever. So just saying. Shannon Romero, welcome honey, love you. I didn't know if you were here or not. This is kind of lagging, so thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of that dark blue copper flash Capricorn on my brush and go over the moon a little bit, or sun, or on the back in squiggly ways. Maybe a little more. That looked pretty cool. Incremental painting. Wow, my music's gone and things are so still and it's almost beautiful. Yep, it's beautiful. It's not a good one to watch, I'm sure, but I will chop these down. All of my lives end up getting chopped down, and where you can come in and see something more up close, and then sent to YouTube to Cape Charles Art. And you can subscribe there for free. You can subscribe here for $2.99. It's the lowest there was. You can subscribe to my Cape Charles Art on Facebook at 99 cents. That's the lowest there was. Or you can just follow me around for free. And I appreciate it, and I will follow you back. So there is a moonish thing going on there. Let me just uncover it, because I don't think we're going too much farther than this right now. I didn't get very far, but we got the inside, we got art flowing, we went deeper, we got an ocean I didn't expect. I expected windows. Windows will be there eventually, I think. I'm just not sure where. So far, that's what they get. So we have to continue to make it magical, people. Your input, give me ideas. Don't know that you'll see them in here, but it would be fun. It's going to be cool. So I don't think I'm going to do the charm hanging off the side. I think even for me that might be a little too much. I'm not putting the hinges back yet because we're still working on the back. That may be a beach. I want it to be a full, 360 view. So, anyway, I guess that's that for today. They're trying, today's crazy. Honey, it's been weird. What is going on? That's how it felt today. I just don't understand. Look at my hair. That's good. You should have seen it earlier. My clothes. And then I realized that doesn't matter. Just get there. Get here. So I'm telling you, it's just been weird. I hope your day gets better, and if not, just I hope you roll with it. And I know you will, because you got a great sense of humor. Anyway, well, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. We did not get real far, but I'm going to be painting on this. I have to confess, I'm going to be painting on this by myself. So, because I love you, I will have that camera face down on it, and I will be posting it to my YouTube channel so you can follow along. And then as I get closer to where it really matters and things are getting interesting, I'll bring you back and we'll do that live where we start doing that grotto-y part and the rocks and the waterfalls and the fun stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. You have a fabulous day, and that your heart is just filled with love today and joy. All right? Oh, and I got a puzzle piece because they don't believe I'm actually talking still. Here we go. I succeeded. All right, guys. Love and light. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Thanks, honey.